Hello, Bob Mackie, and welcome back to TCM.
Hello, Dave.
It's always very exciting when we get to see you.
Well, thank you. Thank you. It's exciting to be here. This is my favorite station. You know that.
Well, I'll give you $5 later
It's the
for
first thing
saying
I
that.
put on before I check everything else.
You're always game for what we ask you to do. You came on our TCM cruise. You're in
I
my
did.
new book that's coming out later this year. And you were on with Alicia when she did her Follow the Thread series.
I was,
But
yes.
tonight it's all about you.
Okay.
So we are going to
All right.
air a fantastic new documentary called Bob Mackie Naked
That
Illusion.
is so scary. A documentary about you.
I know. Whose idea was this documentary?
It was Matthew Miele, the director. It wasn't our idea at all. And I would have said no.
Really?
And then I went, oh, well, we'll see. And then I said, oh, well, let's just go for it.
So the movie goes through your storied career as a costume designer for TV and film. We hear from Cher, we hear from Carol Burnett.
And Broadway.
And Broadway, yes, let's not forget. Tony winner.
You know, I worked so much in California that I hardly did any Broadway to speak of.
Right.
And at a ripe old age, I got a Tony Award.
And there's a clip of you accepting the Tony, and you say this is very encouraging for an 80-year-old, right?
Well, like Ruth Gordon.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. It's a
I
great
loved it when she said that. I
it's a
thought,
great
God bless her.
line.
I can't forget that.
So for people who know a little bit about you but might not know a lot, what are you excited that people might learn about you through this film?
You know, I don't really know. I always wonder, well, what do they want to see this for? You know, but we
Because
did
you're fabulous,
But
that's
we
why.
did show them how to do hand beading and all of that, and people are fascinated by that.
Yes. So we meet this wonderful woman named
Yes.
Elizabeth, who I think has passed away.
She left us around last Christmas,
Wow.
and it was just so heartbreaking because I'd been working with her for years and years.
But it is, as you say, really interesting to actually see how a piece gets made. I mean, there's close-ups of these artisans doing exactly
Yes,
what you're
exactly.
describing.
And people are always so surprised. Oh my God, one at a time?
Yeah. What is it like for you to sit and watch so much of your life in one sitting like this?
It's really hard because there are things that are just sort of private and you don't always bring it up. And there were things in my life that were not that easy to talk about. And I said, you have to be honest with this. You can't be lying
Yep.
about things that didn't really happen or the way they happened. So I tried my best not to.
Well, I will say, as someone who knows you a little bit, I'm really glad that this movie delves into parts of your life that I didn't know about, because it really helps us understand you even more than we already did. And by the way, it makes us love you even more than we already did.
Oh, well, thank you.
So I
Thank
say,
you. I was doing my best. You just can't lie when you're doing a documentary. And I've seen documentaries where they're lying through their teeth.
let's talk a little bit more about some of the amazing people that we're going to hear from, Cher and Carol Burnett. And
Well, we have some wild people in it.
yeah,
You
Mitzi
know, and
Gaynor.
I love my Mitzi Gaynor.
And I would argue that the biggest chunk of the movie is probably about your relationship with Cher. How would you encapsulate the connection that the two of you have had over the years?
Well, we basically got along. Once in a while, she would say, no, I want it like that. And I'd say, oh, please don't do that. That's going to look horrible. And then she admitted at the end of the film, you were right. I shouldn't have worn that outfit. And it was there she was with her 12-year-old playing the bass, 12-year-old son playing the bass, and there she was with her whole rear end practically showing.
Yeah, that's something people can look forward to over the closing credits, so make sure you watch them.
Oh,
All right,
don't miss the closing credits.
let's take a look at the movie, and then I'll have more to ask afterwards, okay?
Okay.
All right, here it is from 2024, a fantastic documentary directed by Matthew Miele, Bob Mackie, Naked Illusion. Bob, I just love the fact that the whole Cher seatbelt situation goes over the closing credits of the film.
Well, we insist on that because that's the best laugh.
I like it because it's showing us all that you're not trying to put forward this reputation that everything was great and everything worked out perfectly.
Well, usually she would wear anything I put on her, and she was so happy. Oh, this is cool. I love this, But they were in style, bicycle pants at that moment in time. And she just had to have bicycle pants. And I'm going, oh, God, here we go. On a ship with 4 million sailors at about, 18 or 19 years old.
Oof. It's such a great moment.
And she says, well, it was okay because they called me ma'am.
Right.
And that was such a funny line to me.
It was great.
I would have thought, oh, change it. But she left it.
It's such an interesting surprise early on in the film where it says Boise. And we're thinking a documentary about Bob Mackie, and we're in Idaho. What is going on? And then we meet Alyssa, your granddaughter, and then your great-granddaughters.
Great-granddaughters,
Right.
yes.
How are they all doing now?
Well, they're older now because we did that early on while we were shooting. Now the oldest one is 17, and the youngest one is 13 now.
Wow.
And they were little baby girls, little Tinkerbells with blonde hair and all that.
What do they think of seeing themselves in this film?
I think they kind of liked it, actually. And their mother loved it, of course.
We mentioned this before the film, but as I said, you're not retired. You're still doing this. And you can look at Taylor Swift's album cover, and there she is in a Bob Mackie look, and Sabrina Carpenter and Miley Cyrus.
Can you imagine what's happened to all these little Disney darlings? They're all hot mamas now. Miss Swift has, she's 5'10". She's not a little girl anymore. She's like a model. She's amazing and gorgeous.
She looks great in your dress.
Scared me a little bit. I didn't design it for her.
Right. It was from Jubilee, right?
It was
in
from
Vegas.
Jubilee, and they own all those costumes. That show ran the longest running show ever in Las Vegas. And it ran 38 years, 37 years, something like that. And they're all there waiting to be used.
Wow.
And there's a couple of strippers that have borrowed them. I mean, who knows?
Do you ever get surprised at some of the people who still want to wear these looks today?
Not anymore. I used to get surprised, but I don't anymore.
Yeah. When you think of everything that we just watched in this documentary and all the things that you've done in your career, is there something that rises to the top that you're the most proud of? A relationship, a project?
I'm just proud that I've worked with that many really talented people that could get up on that stage. The Tina Turners of the world alone, just that amazing talent, that amazing presence on stage or on a screen. Mitzi Gaynor was one of those. As a child, she was a performer.
Right.
She was in shows.
Yeah.
And she was my best friend ever.
We miss her a lot.
Yeah.
Talking about talented people that you worked with, you also did costumes for a lot of movies. So will you stick around and we'll talk about one of the films that you did costumes for?
Sure.
All right.
I'd love it.
Don't go anywhere because coming up next on TCM from 1981, Pennies from Heaven, starring Steve Martin and Bernadette Peters, and featuring costumes by Bob Mackie. Oscar nominated, by the way.
Next on TCM, Pennies from Heaven, then Vice Squad, and later, 2-Minute Warning. It's sudden death on TCM tonight.